Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Levin Miller. You're listening to us on channel 103.5 The Beat FM, on channel 224, that's cable, channel 112, that's Flow TV, and of course on ILTV Studios over there on Facebook. But wherever you decide to listen, we want to say thank you so much for listening. I like to get this in early on Friday because I do not like to let y'all get to y'all happy hour prior to my having said this to you. Bradley Roll, the spiritual advisor, extraordinary and plenipotentiary, is with me. And so, Bradley, I must give them the admonition.
Which is every Friday.
It's Friday. I know y'all are going into y'all spaces to actively engage in hooliganism. But as you saunter about, as you sashay about, as you go to and fro, frolicking about, as you go flitting about, and doing all other manner of debauchery,
evil,
I only implore that in all of your active hooliganism, you do not, by any chance, let any of your actions either add to or take away from this population this weekend. So, actively engage in frolic. I want you to vigorously engage in hooligan behavior. I want you to go into your spaces and have yourself what we who were born in the 80s would refer to as a jolly, and what the Flintstones would ordinarily refer to as a yabba dabba do time. You remember that?
Yeah.
Do as much of it as you like, because my daddy always used to tell me, make sure that when you do it, you do as much of it as you like, because they don't let you do it for as long as you like.
No.
Yeah? That was usually right before the beating, though, right? And so my admonition to you as you go into your spaces this week, your happy hour spaces, your happy hour places, as you meet with your friends. What is the advice, spiritual advisor? Everything in your power possible. Make sure that you exercise it so that you do not add to or take away from this population this weekend. All right? That is our admonition here from Freedom March. Bradley, it's Friday.
It was hot Friday, too.
Was it?
A warm Friday.
I was inside, Bradley, and I never came outside.
Oh, wow.
Praise the Lord.
Lucky you.
I'm doing some renovations at home, so I have to be at home.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I'm very happy that I had no reason to come outside of my house. I see there is an extreme heat warning for the Northern Bahamas. And so, wherever you are, you still have about 1 more hour left before you could start adding the gin to the water. For right now, just drink the water. Freedom March will be right back after this break. Hello, and welcome back to Freedom March. Again, thank you so much for staying with us through the break. I'm Levan Miller. Bradley Roll, the spiritual advisor, extraordinary and plenipotentiary, and spiritual advisor for the whole Bahamas, I'm told, is with me again. Bradley, welcome to Freedom March.
Thanks so much. Good to be here. That got me in trouble the last time.
What get you in trouble? Did you use the
Yeah,
spiritual
you have to
advisor?
explain that because there's some people who may not take to that.
Spiritual advisor, these the same people who's let a man go inside a storefront with 6 people and call himself any title he decides, and people just drive their car to go listen to him.
This is true.
Yeah, so,
It's true.
you could kind of just give yourself any title you want, actually, right?
Well,
Here is how
I
you.
guess you're
here is
right.
what does the Bible say? And you shall know them by their fruit. So call yourself anything you desire, right? You see, like how I just call myself tall, but that's just me calling myself tall, right? And so you could call yourself anything you like. Sometimes I refer to myself as BDM, but that's just me
Yeah.
being me. You could call yourself anything. You shall know them
By the fruits.
by their fruit.
Indeed.
And so, spiritual advisor,
We got the prodigal son today.
prodigal son. Did we ever get to the
powerful.
Shunammite woman? We didn't.
No,
You
we-
ain't gonna never let me teach these women
well-
how good a small sacrifice could turn out for you.
Not only how good a small sacrifice, but if you're an accommodating person, what could happen?
What could happen for
As a
you as
result
an
of-
accommodating woman? That's why I wanted to talk about the. We have to get to
Let's
the
do,
Shunammite
let's do that on
woman.
Monday for sure.
Yeah, because these women lack the ability to accommodate.
Yeah.
That is why they do not ever get the benevolence that is out there for them to have. them to
She
do.
was a very accommodating
Yeah.
person. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go to the Holy
So
Scripture.
let's go to the story of the prodigal son. Producer, I sent in a passage today. We're looking at Luke chapter 15. We're going to read a few verses. I was talking about the parable of the lost son. Some folks know the story as the prodigal son. And no doubt Jesus used these parables to basically drive home a lesson. And it was always a spiritual lesson. But in this story, for all the years that I've been studying it, one of the things that's so fascinating about this story is you think about the son, and then you think about the father, and of course, the relationship in the home. Very powerful indeed. But what if you were to replace these characters with either yourself, being the son, and then replace the father with God? And then you see how much more powerful this story could be. So let's read. So Jesus continued, there was a man who had 2 sons. The younger one said to his father, give me my share of the estate. So the father divided his property between them. Not long after that, the younger son got together all he had, set off for a distant country, and there squandered his wealth in wild living. And after he had spent everything, there was a severe famine in the whole country, and he began to be in need. Flip me, producer. And so he began to be in need. And the story goes on. So he went and hired himself, which means he got a job, out to a citizen of that country who sent him to his fields to feed pigs. He longed to fill his stomach with the pods that the pigs were eating. That's just how bad the situation got. But no one gave him anything. When he came to his senses, and that's the key thing about this whole story, verse number 7 there. When he came to his senses, he said, now how many of my father's hired servants have food to spare? And here I am starving to death. I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants. And so he got up and went to his father. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. The son said to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you, and I am no longer worthy to be called your son. The prodigal son. But the father said to his servants, quick, bring the best robe, put it on him, put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet, bring the fatted calf and kill it. Let's have a feast and celebrate. For this my son, this son of mine, was dead and is alive again. He was lost and he is found. And so they began to celebrate. We can stop right there. Is that verse number 24? Yeah. This is a very, very, very powerful lesson indeed. For most of us, we found ourselves in situations where we are strayed, we wandered. Some of us do come to our senses. If I could use a Bahamian vernacular term, we catch ourselves. That means when somebody says you need to catch yourself, you know exactly what that meant. And in this story, he did. And as a result of that, he was able to gather himself together and go back home to his father. And some good things happened. But the father said to his servants, quickly bring the best robe, put it on him, put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet, bring the fatted calf, kill it. Let's have a feast and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost, but now he's found. Luke chapter 15, 11 through 24. Very powerful passage.
Powerful indeed, spiritual advisor.
The lost son.
Yeah. But,
plenty of us was there before, you know.
But you and I, we
As a matter of fact, I see a lost son right now.
You and I, we often, is that in the prophetic? You and I, we often dice. And it is amazing, because there is a scripture that says, for we know in part and for we understand in part. But when that which is perfect has come, then, right? And so, the thing about Luke chapter 15 that always got me wasn't verse 4 to 11. Can I tell you what has always stood out in that passage of the scripture to me? Producer, can you do this for me?
The argument that the other son advanced.
Yeah, can you do Luke, what is that? Luke 15. Let's do 24 to about 30. This is where the text always gets interesting for me, right? Because, I've been to a lot of church. I'm Church of God. You know that about me, right?
You've been all over the place trying to find Jesus.
No, I know, but Jesus wasn't lost. What did I find Jesus? Jesus ain't lost. I was lost. Jesus find me. Yeah, what you talking about? And I've heard the sermon preached so many times. I like when they go in the car to eat, and they say, "Take me home. Yeah. Let me get out of here." Right? The prodigal son. And you listen to the sermon, but if you read the text, this is what I always tell people: just go read the text. Where we at? 24? You got 24 for me, producer? Let's go.
24 to what?
24 to 30. This is be quick. For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. So they began to celebrate. Meanwhile, the older son, what was he? The older son was in the field. When he came near the house, he heard the music and the dancing. So he called the servant and asked him what was going on. Your brother has come home, he replied, and your father has killed a fattened calf because he has him back safe and sound. And the older brother became angry and refused to go in. So his father went out and pleaded with him. But he answered his father, look, all these years I've been slaving for you and never disobeyed your orders. Yet you never gave me even a young goat so I could celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours, who has squandered your property with prostitutes, come home, you killed the fatted cow. Here is the message. Slaggards get nothing. You remember what God said to Moses? You could kill the scripture. Do you remember what God said to Moses first when he leave Egypt? He said, take the Israelites with you and march towards the Red Sea. All right? See, because blessings are attached to action, my friend.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you sit on your laurels, my granddaddy said, you'll die as a rabbit die. So, Moses walking towards the Red Sea without no boat, and the Israelites in tow, march towards the Red Sea because you cannot even activate the anointing on your life until you start to act, beloved.
Yeah, you got to be obedient to the call.
And so, like the prodigal son, he was the baby. This big, gray, rusty man who mad for his daddy things, you know what he was doing? He's sitting and waiting on his daddy to dead. He ain't know daddy was going to live that long.
I don't know if you can inject that.
And
I don't know if you can do that.
He says right here, but he answered his father, look, all these years I've been slaving for you and never disobeyed your order.
No, he was a good son.
Yet you have never even given me a young goat.
Yeah, he was a good son.
You was waiting on your daddy to dead. But you know something?
No, listen.
God give him long life.
I think the only reason why the son actually ended up debating his father was because he recognized that the younger son actually did something that was unconventional. But
he didn't do anything that was unconventional. This big rusty man should have already built his daddy house. By Jewish law.
Well, but based on Jewish law, nothing was wrong with the younger son did, and nothing was wrong with the older son, because they have an inheritance law in the old Jewish law.
Correct.
The sons always inherit from the father.
Yeah. And by natural attrition, the older son would naturally be
the
entitled to more.
Yeah.
So the young buck say, well, ain't too much here for me to get anyway. Daddy didn't, remember now, his daddy gave unto him his inheritance, and then he left, yeah? There was nothing else. Daddy, you will live forever. You look like you ain't dying. Jesus ain't coming for you. I don't know what's happening. You say you got something for me? Give that to me.
Yeah, in the law, you could have gotten it while your father was alive. Yeah, you could have gotten it.
And so he went out with his talent and he tried his hand. See, I listened to this message preach in every church of God I ever been in. They preach it in the chord of E. They go, but E sharp, and then I think they end somewhere, depending on if you got a really good.
Why do they do that? What is that supposed to do to the story?
That's to save their voice, right? Because you know you got to preach in your chord. Other than that, you wouldn't have no voice. Because I keep telling you, all come go to real church, you know. Anyway,
bunch of emotional
so,
people.
This boy, this big, lazy, rusty, greasy man, mad at daddy, you even never kill a goat for me. You don't deserve no goat. Matter of fact, you look like a goat while I'm looking at you. Because by normal custom practice, you should have then been out of this house. The reason you have to keep waking is you need to keep waking in order to be able to earn your keep to stay in this house. Your big rusty self should have then gone out there inside one family and have your own goat. Your daddy shouldn't have to give you no goat. So I want to preach the message to the sluggard. The sluggards get nothing. You'll tell the field like I said, and you know why?
But he's still the older son still inherited though. Nothing was going to stop him from getting that.
But he deserves no trophy. He deserves no medal of honor, no baton of honor. Think about this. Your daddy is a very rich man, right? So much so that he has hired servants that had more than the prodigal son, while the prodigal son was feeding pigs. You agree with this story, right? Why
I don't know if I like the way you taking the story.
I like
what you're actually doing is you're injecting things in there that may not necessarily be there.
You just inject yesterday in the scripture that the bed is.
No, I didn't inject anything. All I'm telling you. Let me tell you what happened. You and a few other people have misunderstood the passage by not.
I translate the Greek for you.
Yeah, but the Bible is not saying that it's okay for you to do whatever you want in the bed with your wife.
The Greek translation is what it was?
Unattainable. No. All it's doing is telling you that, listen, marriage is honorable. And in marriage
that's a suggestion.
Marriage is an institution that's supposed to be kept pure.
Right. Surveillance is also an institution.
Right. But marriage,
no one wants to live in an institution.
Marriage is an institution created by God.
So it's walked in.
Anyhow, go ahead with your
institutions.
Let's go ahead with your.
All I'm saying to you is, right? I want you all to stop being lazy when you all preach these sermons, because it's easy to cut your text off the prodigal son. I'm talking to the Baptist preacher who prepping the message for Sunday. It's easy to cut your text off the prodigal son. Not easy to preach. I want you to talk with these bunch of big, good for nothing, do nothing people. They've been saved from they was 12. They get saved when they was 9, baptized with the Holy Ghost when they was 12. They ain't get one person saved since Jesus was a baby.
But there's nothing in the text that suggests that the older son was no good. There's nothing that suggests that.
He wasn't no good. You know what he had? he had the spirit of laziness.
No, that's not true. It's nothing in the passage that suggests
Then
that
why
either.
he was still living in his daddy's house?
Well, I
If
mean,
custom practice was
the father wasn't upset that he was there, you know.
No, because he daddy coochie boo baby him to death. He don't never want this big rusty boy to come from around him.
That's the kind of thing I'm afraid
That's
of.
what the scriptures say. I ain't teach this, and I read in the King James version.
But it's not calling the older son lazy, and it's not saying the father's compromising him in any way. The Jews, they had their traditions, and one tradition was
Is you get out your daddy house?
that, well, apparently these boys are still home. It was never mind to the father. He didn't mind.
Yeah.
The story doesn't just suggest that the father's upset that the son was there.
No, but that's why he waking with the slave.
The father
Your rich daddy
yeah.
got you outside waking with the slave. That makes sense?
But the father wasn't upset either that the son asked him for his inheritance and
No,
left.
and he wasn't, because that's what should have happened.
Right, and the father was not upset either that the son squandered his wealth either.
No, because he was a young boy.
So rather than doing what is called an eisegesis, this is you're injecting.
We exegete in the text now.
Right, you're injecting something that's not there.
Exegesis of the text.
We
Go
need to
ahead.
look at the lesson.
Wow.
What is the lesson
Wow,
behind
this is fantastic.
the prodigal son?
And the lesson is the same person with the power to bless could bless us both, you know. But you don't get mad at me because I feel like I had an anointing on my life to do something. And then you turn your brow up at me when I go out there, and not because I didn't try, I tried. Maybe I ran out of grace, who knows? Maybe the lesson for me, I feel the Church of God flaring up at me now. Hold on, I got one message for these bunch of storefront preachers. My Church of God flaring up now. Maybe the message is, you was anointed enough to go out there and get some experience that you could come back and tell the servants who in the house. You see, all y'all with them bunch of church with the 6 members in it, it's time to go back to your bishop. See, I tell you, I was going to feel the same in this. You done been out there and you done wall among the hogs. Your church can't help nobody. You got 6 people in there and you're struggling to keep the light on. Go back to your bishop.
Yeah, but the lesson in all this, for the older son, the father was trying to show the older son that when it comes to grace, he did not run out of grace for any of his sons.
That's my point.
Including the wayward one.
That's my point.
And that's the lesson in its entirety.
Now me and you preaching the same gospel.
Right? That regardless of what happens, he is still my son, and regardless of what happens,
so
you're still my
you
son.
thought you was a big fire and brimstone preacher, and you leave that church, and now only you, your wife, your 2 children, and the neighbor who you just give a ride to, so they feel obligated to come to your church. You had your anointing, you're gone out there. It's time to return to your bishop and tell the servants them, boy, the pigs are out there. If you go out there. Anyway, no more Freedom Arts. We'll be right back after this break. Hello, welcome back to Freedom March. I'm Levan Miller. Thank you so much for staying with us through the break. You're listening to us on channel 103.5 The Beat FM, channel 224, that's cable, channel 112, that's on Flow, and of course ILTV Studios on Facebook. But wherever you're doing it, thank you so much for doing it. Hey, Bahamas, ready to turn your event into a party? Royal Inflatable has you covered. From brand new bouncers to water slides and combo castles, fun is guaranteed for all ages. Their equipment is clean and inspected daily, safe, spotless, and ready to go. Enjoy free setup and takedown, on-time delivery, and 100% hassle-free service. Perfect for birthdays, school events, or any celebration. Call or WhatsApp now at 242-468-7268 to book. Let the bounce party begin. The Work Center, located Rosetta Street across from Roberts Furniture, is your one-stop shop for back to school. Dickies, Timberlands, and many, many more. Come on down and let their friendly staff assist you with getting ready for back to school. Thank you very much, producer. And so now, there's a whole lot of things that are going on in and around the country and a whole lot of things that are happening politically. I don't know whether you live under a rock or if you live on Jupiter or on Mars, but wherever you live, I want to advise that blind Bartimaeus, or the 5 blind boys from Alabama, or blind Blake in a helicopter could see that politics time has come again. And since that is the case, we have to talk about politics, because what else y'all want me to talk about, right? I do, though, note that the Bahamas Union of Teachers president is saying in the news that it's something so interesting to me that gang violence is something that is of a concern to her. I get it. Tell Belinda to turn on the TV so she can hear me say this now, because I want her, she knows I care about her, and I want to give her this piece of advice. You listening, Belinda? Crime at any level ain't your problem. That's Shanta job. All right? So don't be concerned about crime. Whatever happened in the school, you just blame Shanta, because that ultimately who is responsible for crime. Now, what I would recommend you do is you as an educator figure out policies, and whether you have to get them through the parliament or however. I never really like when people tell me, oh, we can't do that. Slavery was once the law. Do you know what that means? We could make anything the law. And until a court of a higher jurisdiction knocks it down, guess what? It'll be the law. So, here is my recommendation as the president of the Bahamas Union of Teachers. Now, I know Belinda is kind of like Beetlejuice. If you call her name 3 times, she will call.
Oh, yeah.
So I only can call it twice because I'm around with Belinda today. But, Madam President, we have gotten to the point where we need to stop drug use in our students at an earlier point in their lives. You could look, and based on the information that I get from some of my sources, you could smell the marijuana on these children when they come to school. Many of their parents, though, have no actual involvement in their day-to-day journey to or from school. So by the time as their mommy, who go to work at 6 and get off at 3 and have to catch the ride with Pookie, who got a car, and now she don't get home till 5:30, she ain't never know that Lil Pookie been smoking dope this morning before he gone to school, and then he come back and he smoke the dope again when he get home from school. And so by the time as she catches up with him, Pookie been smoking the dope for about 2, maybe 3 years. Here is the difficulty with that. The difficulty with that is in order for him to have access to the dope, Madam President, he has to go in spaces where the dope exists. Do you know what else exists in those spaces? Guns, gang violence, and all manner of evil and other things that are sultry, right? I think the time has come where we must write into policy that a condition of being re-entered into school every semester is that you have to take a piss test. And when you piss hot, we need to figure out how the policy will be engaged in such a way that we get these children first some counseling, We partner with the police to find out where they're getting the marijuana from, because they shouldn't be growing it, and they certainly shouldn't be buying it as a minor. And then that way we could use this new gang legislation, and Big Pookie or Blacks or Tall Boy or Platyped or whichever one of these big grown man selling drugs to children, we could charge him as a turf drug supplier and let him go to the calaboose for a very, 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 very long time. That is my position, Madam President. And I say that if we could figure out a way to dampen the dependency or the appetite for the use of the marijuana among young people, and to y'all bunch of old dope smokers, I mean y'all brain done dead. If y'all smoke all the cells of y'all head, man, God be praised. I'm talking to the people who the science suggests shouldn't be putting THC or chemical into their brain because their, what the thing is called, the occipital lobe is not properly formed as yet. And it is the thing, if I'm not mistaken, that manages emotions, eh? I think it's the occipital lobe. Y'all don't kill me. The point I'm making is THC should not be entering a brain under the age of about 21. Luckily for us, the government only care but you tell you 18. So we don't really care what you do with your brain when you're 19. But for as long as you are going to live among a population of other 15, 16, and 17-year-olds, we want you to not have the marijuana in your cerebellum. We want you to not have the marijuana altering your occipital lobe. And, Madam President, it is my humble submission that if they start having to pee in a cup every semester, we will see gang violence go down because they will be children that don't have altered minds. They can't go into these gang spaces because if they can't use the drugs, the people that are selling the drugs will not want them around them. And now you make them less susceptible. I just come to college, you know. I've been to plenty big-time college like these other big-time people with all the big-time college. I've been to one little community college because I like the Baptist them. I gone to the Baptist them people college. Big shout out to the Bahamas Baptist University, which is the only reason I got one degree. If you take away the market or the people that have created the market for the people who to sell the marijuana, Madam President, there will be a dip in crime. But I don't want you coming in the news telling me nothing about how gang violence have you concerned, because that's your job. Whose job that is? Shanta. All right? That's enough about that, on that from me. I have a guest in studio. You might know him. You may know him. I don't know. I ain't sure what to call him these days. But I call him the name he want me name him. Richard Johnson is my guest. He's in the studio with me. Hello, Richard. Welcome to Freedom March.
Good to be here. Good to be here. First time on Freedom March. First time on Freedom March.
You see how far you come?
Even though, you know, your co-hosts like to slander my name.
Now
it's the first time I'm here.
You can't come and beat up the co-host.
No, I'm not beating up the co-host. The co-hosts love to call my name. But I'm here, glad to be here.
You're a fellow F&M's brothers and
No, I'm not. I don't cast my pearls among swines.
Oh,
Wow.
ironic, we just talked about the prodigal son.
No. I don't cast my pearls among swines.
Wow.
No, I don't.
So, the reason you're here today is because I see there's a whole lot of things going on, and I'm a man that likes to be fair. Mm-hmm. The first time I can recall hearing anybody in a public space talk about the amending of a constitution regarding the F&M was Richard Johnson. Mm-hmm. I don't recall nobody else having it to say. I actually don't recall in all of the because you know you always have, when you all in one test the leadership, you always call it all kind of things. Conclave, one-day symposium. These fellas can come up with a bunch of names, right?
Revival and all kinds of things.
Right?
Yes.
But for whatever it is worth, there is talk now that there may need to be a convention for the amending of the Constitution of the Free National Movement.
Right.
Now, I know you do not speak for the Free National Movement as a party officer, but I also know that you have held National Party office.
Correct.
Which means you have what I like to call situational awareness and institutional knowledge of how the thing should work.
Correct.
What is the importance of needing to change the Constitution? Why would you be changing it after you've already ratified candidates? And what benefit does it offer if we're not going to test the leadership? particularly if we're this close to an election?
So again, clearly the leadership of the FNM is not on the right directory. You would have recalled that recently they were naming candidates.
Right.
And then they would have put off naming other candidates for at least 3-4 times. They were supposed to have a Eastern Zone meeting. That didn't happen.
They say it was raining.
I didn't see no rain. I see that, I smell it, I
They
feel
say
that.
due to inclement weather. I
don't
tell you
think
what
so.
the flyers
I think so. And then they would have planned to have walkabouts and various things. They postponed that again. My thing is, next month makes 4 years
Right.
that this government has been in power.
Right.
So you should be preparing to win or on the ground, working and doing what needs to happen.
Right.
If the government is going to add 1-2 more seats, okay, granted. But my view is, what is this? What is the amendment? Meant to what? And why you won't call it a no voting convention?
Yeah.
So what are you doing? That's not. You don't
Constitution.
call no convention and say it's non-voting.
They might be having conclave.
So just call it conclave to say you want to look at. See, but the thing is, what do you want to amend? What is the issue? Because as far as I'm concerned, you beat Dr. Minnis 463 to 100 and something. You bragged about that 4-1. You have the association. You got the council of the party. You got the MCMs of the party. What are you going to convention for when you have not even laid out the deck as relates to candidates for the Free National Movement to see as if they're poised to win the government? I really don't understand.
Okay, so first of all, I can't imagine that this whole amending of the Constitution would be about candidacy and ratification. I mean, albeit that's what it said in the newspaper today.
No, but the Central Council is for that. The FNM doesn't need the convention to ratify candidate. That is why you have the Central Council. The Central Council is the highest body outside of the convention.
Right.
Now, if they go to this so-called convention, they only can make amendments to the Constitution via in a convention, which you will have the day sessions, etc., etc. So my view is, what is the main reason? What is the crucial point? And what is it you want to amend? Because all of the other branches of the party is functioning. That's why the Central Council is there, to act as a arbitrary to the Constitution. So again, it baffles me to see what that is all about.
Okay, so Richard, hear me out, right? Let me see if I can find the article for you, because I don't want them to say I lied.
No, I read it this morning as well. Yeah.
I hear this. This
Right.
sounds fancy. It's fluffy. I like it. It's like a brand new poodle. That's not what was said.
I hear you what was said, but I'm
Right.
telling you, the chairman of the FNM, who in my view is incompetent at best, he don't know his job. Period. You don't need a convention at this point if you want to make amendments to what? And not only that, where's the proposals that you should lay to the Central Council as it comes to this is what we need to address in the Constitution? Has the Constitutional Committee laid anything to the Central Council as to these things that we outline based on the committee? Because you do have a convention committee and a Constitutional Committee. So have the Constitutional Committee laid out flaws or matters of urgencies as to why we have to go to a convention to make these amendments. And so I don't think that has been presented here. Now, I'm not in the party. I can't tell you. But to my knowledge, I don't think that was presented to the Central Council.
I'm very happy that you pointed out that you're not in the party. Because,
No, I'm not.
Because,
No, I'm not.
because I had the footage. That's what I was looking for just now. I can't find the footage. But I know on public record, Richard Johnson
Yes.
has said in a place very near to this place.
Oh, absolutely.
On more than one occasion.
Yes.
I support Pinta. Richard Johnson has said that in the past.
Okay. No, sir.
Richard
No,
Johnson.
sir. No, sir.
Richard
You have
don't-
never
Richard
heard me.
don't make me
You
go
have
downstairs.
never
I got
heard
the
me
clip.
said I support Pentad. You might have heard me say I support the Free
leadership.
National Movement.
No,
and
you
the
support
leadership.
the leadership?
No, sir. No, sir.
You support the
No,
leadership?
sir. I challenge you on that. You will never get me anywhere saying I support Michael Pentad.
I promise you, when I find this clip, I'm bringing you back.
Find
here.
it.
And I want you to eat sour live.
Special advisor, you got it?
No, he don't have it.
Okay, I can tell you. You will hear me say, or heard me say it before, I support the leadership of the party or the FNM.
Who was the leadership?
But
at
you
that
will
time?
never hear me say I support
But
Michael
who
Pentad.
was the leadership?
The leadership is
You said we have a duly elected leader. I had the clip.
No. You me?
I telling you, when I pull this clip, Richard, I'm gonna play it live on TV for everybody to hear.
No. I support the current leadership at the time.
which was Michael Pintard.
Yeah, but you can never hear me say support Michael Pintard.
Uh-huh.
You can hear that. You'll never hear that. I never did.
Wow.
Never.
Wow.
He never had my support.
So you ran for vice chairman during the time that Michael Pintard ran for leader, right?
And he campaigned hard against me too.
Yeah, but after you came out and you won, right? I mean, was it just for party's sake that you opted to stand? Because I remember you swinging the bat for the Free National Movement very heavy.
I carry the load for the Free National Movement time and time again. I fought against the PLP. I was rigorous in my stance. I was strong. I was committed. I traveled. I was on radio, talk shows. I was just strong. Remember now, there's a man with Michael Pintard. All right? I came into the ranks of the FNM. I was a torchbearer. I walked with David Wallace. I campaigned with Karen Shepherd and Monty Gomez and Brian Brown and all these people. So there's nothing to do with him. He meet me here, right? And so when the FNM lost election in 21, there was a serious urge to move Dr. Minnis. And they wanted people just to drop him like hot cake and forget this all happened and just move forward with him. But that don't go like that. That don't go like that, Alevin. You can't tell me what to do.
Sure.
I do what I want to. And when I ran as vice chairman, and I won on my merit, on my record, and what I brought to the table, and how I was able to ensure that I craft a message and defend the Free National Movement, a lot of them can't say the same. They win on ticket, they win because they support this one, they win, no, I win on my own merit when I ran for vice chairman. Because I had the leadership team at that time calling and campaigning against me. I won.
Wow. And so you're telling me then that this whole big bloodbath is absolutely unnecessary. If the party is going to ratify candidates, they should just go ahead and do it.
Right.
Because they don't need to go back into a constitutional amendment of any sort in order to add new candidates. Then the question becomes, what can you point at any point to the sanity in the madness
I don't know.
that we should be able to kind of pinpoint?
Again, you hear where the governing party, I think this month, is having a module for their prospective candidates, etc., etc. Again, you are gearing up for an election. Where you going, but you going for amendment for constitution for what? And what is the urgency? Again, I don't know, and from my inner circles, and from reliable sources, I can't tell you on national television that I know that there's anything legitimate to say there's an urgency, unless they are using that term to get rid of the leader. That could be another way.
But why would they be playing both people with him like that?
That could happen. Because here's my point. If you call a convention,
Nothing stops you from nominating
right?
candidates.
Why you could tell me I can't nominate, or you could tell me that this is a non-voting convention? When do you have that?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if you call it, you have to put voting in
So
that
you all
process.
gotta have like a FNM prayer meeting. It can't
No,
be-
they gotta have a FNM prayer meeting, not Richard Johnson. I tell you before, I don't cast my points on my swans.
Richard, I trying to make sure. Richard, and you know what? I'm so sad I don't. But Richard,
Signifying that. No.
I find this
No,
clip,
sir. No, sir. You would have heard me said.
I support the leadership. We have a duly
leadership
elected leader.
of the FNM.
We have a brand new leader in Michael Pintard. We have a brand new chairman in Dr. Dwayne Sands. And I support the Free National Movement 1,000%. Those were your words.
I've said that, yes.
And all I'm gonna say.
Right. But you will never hear me say I support Michael Pintard. you can never hear
So
that.
Richard, tell me what exactly is the issue with the Free National Movement? And here's why I'm gonna ask you that. So you contend you're no longer a member of the Free National Movement, right? But have you ever been in love before?
Yes.
I want to tell you a little thing about me, right? When I was in the 9th grade, my dad was a Carmichael Road bus driver. At the time, I didn't even know what the Royal Bahamas Defence Force was. I saw a batch of them, maybe 14 of them, running from the detention center in a direction that I now know to be Coral Harbour Base. Fully fatigued, bag of rucksack on their back, and I'm willing to believe that Clifford Butch Scavella had something to do with it, because that would have been right around the time he was a crazy man, running people cheering up and down in the restaurant, right? I would have been in the 9th grade. That day, I got bit with the bug. And I knew as a 9th grade student, I wanted to be a Defense Force Marine. That day, I applied to join the Defense Force in the 11th grade. Think about this now. I came out of school January 12th, and I came out of school June 12th, and January 12th, I was in training.
Okay.
That is impossible. I ain't none of 80 hand of them grandson. But what that means is I had applied from the 11th grade because all you needed was BJC.
Correct.
So I put in all my paperwork, and the only thing that I was waiting on was my graduation certificate. But my paperwork, thank you very much to a man by the name of Senior Lieutenant Sean Tasted, who kept my paperwork moving.
Mama?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Who keep my paperwork moving till I could get the graduation certificate.
Right.
Right? And praise the Lord, 5.5 months after leaving high school, I joined an organization called the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. I have now been out of service longer than I've been in service. I did 10 years, 9 months, 18 days, and 6 hours because Michael Sweeten couldn't find my paperwork. Right? And today, now that I have 11 years out of service, the girl I love don't leave me alone. I just be in the Defense Force business every chance I get. I done get banned, not on paper, but they know I was banned, but I was banned from the events.
Oh, you was a bad boy.
Dub persona non grata.
You was a bad boy.
All kinds of, but it's only out of love. It is because of the love I have for the organization that when I watched people do things that I knew was against the doctrine, I simply couldn't bite my tongue. And sometimes I bite the back of my tongue till I taste blood. But at some point I had to speak on behalf of the only thing I ever loved around this place.
Right.
Is that where Richard Johnson is?
In terms of?
Are you still in love with him?
No.
You have, Richard, it's hard to let love live.
No, man. I finished with that. I finished with that. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. We could trash talk. We could have disagreements.
Yeah.
We could war on different matters.
Yeah.
You might probably even get personal with me to an extent. Say some things about me, which might be true. But even when you put your hands on me, you have crossed the line.
Yeah.
And so there's no return on that. And so when I was attacked at the FM headquarters and after the by-election, I, thank God I was able to man myself and get myself together.
I used to use the West End boy.
Oh, I don't have time to bleed. All right? If anybody know my mommy and daddy, they know I come easy.
Yeah.
So when I went back inside to say, listen, this is what transpired outside, I was told by the chairman of the FNM, the late Don Sanders, and some other people, you need to come on here. This is not a police station, go across the street. Because furthermore, we believe you probably set this up. I said, really? And that's what pissed me off. They showed no concern. They showed like they were, and to me, the only conclusion I would have had at that time was, hey, you all had something to do with this, hey. So that for me, and given the fact of the evidence that was around the investigation, that I will not say, I think it's a done deal anyway because it never materialized. But based on what I know, and based on what I'm privy to, and based on who I know were involved in it, because here's the point even, if the monitors of the FNM, if the monitors of the camera is in the chairman's office, and I know it because when Carl Cumber was chairman, that's where the monitors are. The incident happened in the front of the door after FNM headquarters. When the police retrieved the cameras, the DVR, it was destroyed. We also was aware, it was also brought out by the police attention.
They was using DVR.
Yeah, whatever they call it.
So they have no cloud-based account in the whole building?
There were 4 members of the FNM from the chairman go down who were questioned by police regarding this matter. So I have to come, and then the officer in charge of CDU at the time, the only thing good about him is my last name and his last name, was my father missing for some reason. But I tell you, you say you're the Church of God.
I'm Church of God.
I'm Church of God of Prophecy.
You're almost the same as
Yes, and I will go back to the scripture. Though they slay me, yet will I trust in him.
Oh, praise the Lord.
That man was removed from CDU and caught for what they've always been doing to the poor man. And to this day, we have never got a conclusion.
Well, allegedly. He hasn't been convicted yet. He hasn't been convicted of anything.
So my point is, from that incident, from the death threat that I received early part of this year, I will never in good conscience support the Free National Movement under that leadership. They are the worst of the worst.
Wow.
And if you can't bend to them and kiss their ring, That's not the free national movement that I joined 15, 20 years ago.
But it's
not.
politics, Richard. I
No,
mean,
no,
and I
no.
continue to tell people.
It is politics.
Politics is a gladiator sport.
Right.
And when you understand that some of the hits, there is no rule book for where the hits can land in politics.
Right.
There are men like me who will say, Richard is the politician, his wife and children are off limits, but there are men that are unlike me. Right?
Quite aware.
But the day Richard puts his name on a ballot, on a public office, on anything,
Right.
I come in for Richard with all of my strength because
Gotcha.
it is a gladiator sport.
Correct.
I mean, so Richard, maybe it was just a little bit of political roughhousing.
Roughhousing. Okay. So you think so based on what I'm privy to, you think I will ever trust you? Well, you will ever come and talk, but I should hold it. How I will look, leaving if I know all of this? I went to a court battle. I was attacked at the FM headquarters. You know, I had an event this year in May, June and May this year. My billboards were destroyed. I went to the police, not once, twice.
Yeah. This is the thing you had Montague.
Yeah, the thing I had Montague. All because them people had the red dot with the red drizzle, and they were jealous of what I was doing.
Yeah.
I don't study them, leaving. I wake in.
Someone told me that someone in the FNM have more pull than Richard. I told them, I watched Richard pull off a whole fair by himself. I think the other people could have pulled off no fair by themselves. That's all.
Well, they was giving away $10,000. So leaving someone giving away $10,000,
Oh, boy.
you should be there.
Anyway, no more. Richard Johnson is here. We're talking about him and the FNM when we return. Hello, welcome back to Freedom March. Thank you for staying with us through the break. I'm Leland Miller. Richard Johnson. What's your title is going on? Because you used to be vice chairman, but you have a title? Are you a title?
I don't have no title. I am. They call me AKA Facts and Issues. They call
Mr.
me.
Facts and Issues.
They call me an activist. They call me the strategist. Just to call me too late. But I ain't no F and M. No, they say former vice chairman, but you know.
Former vice chairman.
Of the F and M. Yeah.
Former vice chairman. Yeah. And how far from the top that is?
That's about two positions away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vice chairman, deputy chairman.
Vice chairman, deputy chairman, chairman.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Richard, I have to proposition you now. Since you have decided in your heart that you could never be an FNM, and like me, you may never be able to be a PLP, Richard. Richard, would you come and be an FNA? Get my jingle ready.
I always hear you
jingle
talking this
ready.
F and A. What's an F and A?
Just Richard.
What is an F and A? I always hear this F and A.
Let me tell you where you can find solace in the FNA.
Yeah, let me hear this F and A.
You might be somebody who say, I can't be a PLP because
Right.
my daddy say the PLP stand for people long punishment.
Right.
And I can't ever get that out of my brain, right? Because I was a child when they tell me that, right?
Right. So what is this F and A?
So I trying to tell you.
Because I thought, oh my God, don't curse this now.
So I try to tell you. So like me, you might have been brainwashed and you just can't be a PLP, right? Mm-hmm. And they wouldn't let me be a FNM because
Right.
I used to be a Ifatanya FNM. You know that about me?
Yes, I am aware of that, yes.
I said Ifatanya
He's
FNM.
I yes.
But they don't want me to be a Ifatanya FNM.
So what they want you to be F and
They
A?
want me to be a FNA.
Well,
Play
I-
my jingle, so Richard, so I could encourage Richard. Richard, come be a FNA with me.
Cause we don't play. Come go this way and vote for the FNA. We are the FNA because we don't play. Come go this way and vote for the FNA. Tell them take the FNM, we ain't one of them. And the PLP is a gangster party. The COI is a party made up by just one guy. So if you wanna go all the way, come go with the FNA. We are the FNA because we don't play. Come go this way and vote for the FNA. When they shout PLP, just say no way. You're going with us in the FNA. The FNM done lost their way, and we don't play, we vote in FNA. The COI have a plan, they say, but the best plan is to go with the FNA. We are the FNA because we don't play. Come go this way.
So Richard, all I need is a chairman now, ICE leader. ICE leader of the FNA. Right? I can be the chairman of the FNA. Okay? And then we can be two FNAs together.
Listen, the song is really good. I enjoyed that song. It's really good. I like the song.
Listen,
Right.
We have song,
Right.
right?
That's as far as it go for me. There's no other for that.
Ah, boy, I tell
I'm
you.
going to support.
I need a chairman.
No, sir. I'm going to support this government for second time.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So that's voting for the PLV for the first time in my life. Because I think staying home and spoiling your ballot doesn't solve.
Yeah.
That will solve the problem.
That's pian behavior.
Pian.
Big man.
Childish behavior.
Yeah, big
right?
man don't behave like
You know,
that.
but I was going to write on my ballot and say one foul language
Yeah,
against.
but that don't benefit
That don't
nobody.
benefit nobody. But I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote for the PLV.
Yeah.
For the first time in my life.
Yeah, and this is how I feel about it, right? If you do good, I come in and there to tear the paper voting for you.
Right.
Or but if you do bad, they can't sharpen my pencil sharpie now.
Right.
My X will be so dark, they can't miscount that.
I don't know, right? People believe because you take a position for a party means something changed. Nothing changes. Because I can still bail you up
Yeah.
and turn you up and tell you
Yeah.
where you're going wrong.
Yeah.
And if you can't take the chafing, that
But that on you. You
That-
come in public life.
My
That on
point
you.
exactly.
So here's what I tell them. They can't pay me to lie.
For them.
No, you can't pay me to lie for you. But they also can't pay me to lie on you.
Correct.
So if they give me money, I like a Baptist church.
Take it.
I say, bless the Lord and then I walk over there and I cuss you out with your money.
Absolutely. Ingram always say, take the money, take
Because
it.
I don't know where you get the audacity from to assume I was going to let your money cost me to don't say what I think.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's the way you have to do it. But anyway, Richard, if I could get a good chairman, the FNA will be on our way.
Send out a application out.
No, Richard, I doing this.
The spiritual advisor should be a good chairman.
He's an FNM.
Oh, he's FNM.
Yeah, he's an FNM.
Oh,
We can't have
he's
him.
FNM. Spiritual advisor. Boy, I tell you.
I just appoint chairman by decree. I could decree you the chairman.
So where's the constitution? When it started? Where's the what's going on with this party?
Just like how the Lords don't tell you everything,
Right.
the FNA won't tell you everything.
Okay. All right.
When you come inside,
Right.
you will find out that we have a wonderful institution.
But I will see you on the battlefield. See you on the battlefield.
All right, so many things have been happening. I don't want the people to say I bring you on the show to be the big FNM, right?
No.
But I know that, even me at first thought that the FNM was getting off lethargic, not getting candidates ratified. The election will be, Brave Davis can say whatever he wants to say. Let me tell you when the election will be. May 5th, 2026. I have a 6-bear bet on it. The election will be that day.
Yeah, I believe too. I have a strong view that this is not going to next September.
I can tell you that.
And I believe, given the fact of the airport in Grand Bahama, given the fact of the airport in Cat Island, and given the fact of the airport in Long Island, that those are the 3 components that the government, I think, wants to see achieved by them cutting the ribbon.
I think if they miss and put paint on the Alugaya,
Right.
whichever day you hear the painting contractor say he finished painting the Grand Lugaya,
Yes.
election the Monday right after that.
I personally believe that.
Okay.
So we on the same view.
Okay.
I think that's the thinking for me.
Yeah.
And so
I put in my 6 bears on it, Richard. I don't talk to hot up my throat.
Okay, you
If
drink
you
bears too?
disagree with me, yes, man.
right.
If you disagree with me, right? I'm a Paul kind of Christian, and the Apostle Paul say you have to take a little bit for the stomach's sake. Paul say that.
Right.
And I agree with Paul.
Right.
Okay? So some of us got a little more stomach than others of us. You following me?
But I used to Jack Daniels drinkers.
Okay, so I don't hot up my throat. If you think I talking foolishness, don't run on with me when you see me. Just bet you bear them. I can pick them up in there, right? But
And you're a collect drinker, I think.
indeed I am.
Yes.
Indeed I am. Why would they still push towards candidates though if the Boundaries Committee hasn't finished their work yet? And justifiably, the Prime Minister said that he's taken some new things into consideration. He's asked the chairman of the Boundaries Commission to consider those things with ballots and names needing to be taken off. They want to make sure the ballot is pure. I get that.
Correct.
Then doesn't that give the FNM a justifiable reason to hold off on things like naming more candidates and to possibly alter the way they do candidate selection?
Well, I mean, it's a given because, if you're going to, for example, if you have a new person running for who you want to ratify for a seat, obviously, they need sufficient time.
To be vetted.
You're talking about, I won't talk about vetting because they piss poor on vetting. But you're talking about, if I have to see over 6,000 constituents, right? That ain't going to happen in 4 months, 5 months, or what.
Right.
So if you are sure this who's getting that seat, that nomination, then I think they need to go and do the work. Yeah. Now, I would advise them not to go full throttle because obviously you have to wait until that bell is rang. And so I think, and I'm not going to say that they are not attracting, the FNM is attracting some good candidates, in my view. I believe you look at the fella, I think his name was Andrew Johnson Bloom. In fact, I used to work with him some years ago.
Andrew Johnson Bloom.
Andrew Johnson Bloom. He owns a security company here in Nassau.
Yes. I've heard about it.
I used to work with him.
Yeah.
And he's from Camp Road.
Right.
And I understand that there's some ruckus as relates to not putting him there.
Right.
He's from there. Right. I saw all of the strong support for him.
Yeah.
I think he's very good at what he does.
Yeah.
I think he's an ideal for the area. I'm hearing another name. I'm like, but that don't even fit the script. This fella don't. Oh. No, I'm hearing a Lincoln Deal, right?
In Camp Road?
In Camp Road.
What would he be doing now?
I don't know if he's giving.
Does he know where it is?
Again, so he's a young man.
I don't know.
He's a young man who lived
in. Knows where Camp Road is.
That's what I'm saying. So he is a man who grew up in Galani, worked in Galani all these years. I, be honest with you, would prefer, and again being objective, I think Lincoln Deal would do better in a Galani if if I had to choose.
I oppose Lincoln
Right?
contesting Kalani, and I'll tell you why.
I'll tell you why.
You can't go at the hand of the man that has been benevolent.
No, but I'll tell you based on comparison. If you were to put him and the senator. See, the senator is a basket case, and she's lost.
Oh, boy.
And the senator only will get that because of entitlement and because who her father is. See, privileged.
No,
what? Give me something.
Richard, you can't say that. The
Give
woman,
me something.
Okay. Then you could say the same thing for Michael Folks. You could say the same thing for who else is there? I'm saying to you, we've not seen it with the Pinling children. When the Pinling children tried to run,
Right.
no one ever treated them. As a matter of fact, they get less nomination because they're Pinlings, right? So are you telling me, when you look at, she's had a legal career, she's a mother, she is a professional. I'm just telling you, like, she hasn't done any less than the average no-name male
You
politician.
ain't tell me nothing yet to appease me, my brother. And I'm saying to you,
she's a lawyer,
that don't appease me.
a professional,
That don't appease me.
a mother.
That don't appease me. She been in the Senate for almost 4 years, and she has been mute and a failure in that
She has
regard.
worked
And
very
I'm
closely
saying-
with things like the AIDS
Nonsense.
Foundation.
And I'm telling you, her mother has, not her. But I'm telling you, if you were to compare a Lincoln deal, who I believe, who has worked in the trenches, and I don't carry water for him. I'm just speaking from this perspective, because Millis is my man in Kalani. But I'm saying to you, if you were to compare
As a PLP.
but if you were to compare Lincoln and a Senator Ellis, when you look at background, history, qualifications, I think, as a young man who is an F&M, because you don't have to question him, but have to question her, where you just come from. I believe he outweighs her by far.
But isn't he a minister F&M?
No, he's not a minister F&M. He's an F&M. No, he's loyal to himself. He's loyal to nobody but himself. I ask you, I'm telling you, we don't work together.
Okay.
But I'm saying for Freetown, I do not see where he match up to Freetown.
Well, maybe he's read the article in the newspaper.
Granted, I want Wayne Monroe get beat, right? Because
As a PLP.
As a PLP.
Okay.
I don't want you to think for a second that there's some people that I support. No, I don't.
Right.
Okay? I think he needs to go. He's one of them who needs to go. And maybe serve somewhere else if the PLP wants the PLP win again. But I can tell you,
I like Wayne as minister.
I think he's a failure. He lacks people's skills. He don't speak to people well, and you have a poor attitude
So
as a
maybe he
minister.
needs a press officer, but
Well, I got him for the lose. I want him to go. So I'm saying to you, though, see, because I believe, Leavin, in this game, in this politics game, it's about people, man. And I believe if the Andrew Blue fella or Johnson fella gets that nomination, I think Wayne Monroe is going to be.
Well, I read an article this week in the newspaper that said that there were, when his community was canvassed, a lot of people said that they thought that he was a better minister of the government than he was an actual member of parliament. And this is why it gets so tricky for me, right?
Who was a better minister?
Wayne.
Oh.
That he was a better minister of the government than he is a member of parliament.
Okay.
But this is where it gets tricky for me because I personally know that Minister Monroe keeps very regular constituency office hours.
Okay.
Plus he runs one of the largest ministries in government, right? Name me one other minister that have responsibility for 5,000 people as his direct responsibility. Yet he still has time for a social life. I don't know when he getting all this time. Time for a social life, time to keep constituency hours. The question becomes, what does the Bahamian electorate want from a member of parliament? Because we may just be giving them something that is unattainable, or they may desire something that is unattainable.
And I agree, Leavin, that we have to move away from, the MP didn't come to my Grammy funeral, and so I'm voting for him. We have to move away from that. I hate that. But a passion, right?
Yeah.
Because I personally believe if you look at some of these areas in New Providence, if the MPs just do the regular basis necessity, they will be good MPs.
Yeah.
But you know something too also, when they takes power, some of them, they get
become drunk with it.
arrogant and drunk with it. And so for me, I find him in that category.
You find from a Wayne Monroe?
Oh, absolutely.
No,
absolutely.
I've always found Wayne
Absolutely.
Monroe. Wayne Monroe is actually one of the few people that I know that you could actually, as Minister of National Security, walk right up to him and just cry on his ears.
Boy, I was in an elevator with him in his ministry, and I said, morning, speak to me yet. I go on him to deal with a matter regarding his parliament registration payment. Him?
That might have been a part of the security detail.
You gotta be.
That might have been a part of the security detail.
Listen to me.
When you move in the principal, you know sometimes they have rules.
Leaving, the PLP is gonna lose some seats.
Right.
Okay? And I personally believe they can lose about 10 seats thereabouts, right? And I know he can be one of them.
I'd put 6 pairs on that. I don't think so.
I think it's 10.
I'd put 6 pairs on that.
Okay. You think it's less than 10 or more than 10?
I think, I'm out of fact, I think they could pick up 2.
They can pick up 2, so they can lose 8.
No, I think they could pick up 2.
So you don't have them losing more seats?
No.
Oh, wow.
No.
You sure, Leaving?
As a matter of fact, I've said it publicly. Put the camera on me with a zoom into me so they can notice me talking. I sometimes feel, and these are on the nights when I don't eat the pork chop, that Brave Davis might have what it takes to Mia Motley this boy. Brave Davis might Mia Motley, what do you name?
Who's that?
The fellow who's in charge of the
Oh,
Michael Pintard.
Okay.
I almost forget his name.
Right.
Brave Davis might pull a Mia Motley on this boy.
Well, you know, Leaving, if that happens,
And now I would be very fearful for an unopposed PLP.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. That would scare me.
Right. But I don't agree necessarily with a Kasime government.
Neither do I.
Right? And if it happens,
not healthy for democracy.
No, but I'm saying to you, if it happens, then I believe Brave has, he break in that cycle. Which again, I'm of the view that the PLP will win this next
PLP,
election.
in my view, will also break
Right?
the cycle.
So I'm saying though, but there are some people in there who I personally believe. Now you've seen where some of them are very say they're not running anymore, right? But there's some who would stay on.
But really now, which of
And
us
they
thought
get
they would
tired.
run again? Which one of us thought Michael was coming back?
But I was never thought he's coming back. I was shocked with Petty. I don't know Petty was running, right? I'm surprised that
Petty only survived the blast because the Constitution got him covered. Because other than that, Brave would have cut his head off. All right? So anyway, let me get you out of the F&M business now. I also see you've been casing of the people in Grand Bahama.
Oh yeah,
The Grand Bahama Power Company.
yes.
I thought they were getting that under control. You protested against them last year, I remember that. What is the need to go back and protest again this year? What's happening differently?
So actually, we are on a year pretty much from last year to now.
Right,
as
I
it
remember
relates
you
to
was there
the
last year.
Protests and pushing it and so forth and so on. And again, you've seen, it's like they would have simmered on for a bit. They went back decent. Now they're acting up again. And so, the issue now is not only that the light can't stay on, it's the fact that you've been generating and producing light bills that are totally unprecedented. Where people are saying, look here, I could prove that the same usage I used last month, I'm using this month. Why is that? I could prove where I was out of the country for
Didn't
more.
they say it was the fuel surcharge?
That's what they say. I could prove where I was out of the country for more than a month. How is it my bill? I only left my freezer and my fridge plug in. How is it bill is almost $1,000? And so for the CEO or the chairman to make the notion of this language as if, you all need to, your behavior needs to be, your usage behavior, you all need to watch your usage behavior. Well, blow me down. So why don't you produce all of your executive bills? Who paying their bills? Right? And not only that, you are still charging, leaving a recovery, hierarchy and recovery fee on the consumer's bill in Grand Bahama.
Really?
Yes. From Dorian, still doing it today.
What was the amount?
Well, that fluctuates. That don't have to be.
No. What was the overall assessed amount of damage that they say, okay, we need to recoup $6 million?
Probably in the millions. Probably in the millions again.
Yeah,
but
so
again,
have they not paid the bill yet?
But why are things are not insured? I would assume that they were insured. And so again, you can't charge the backs of the Grand Bahamians for something it's the act of Mother Nature. But that's what they're doing, leaving. Again, it's wrong. So when I see,
So what are we calling for? The head of the
not
CEO?
even hard. We need to the Grand Bahamians need to stop being complacent and laid back, leaving, and stand up to this company. Okay?
Yeah, but for what? What are they can't operate the company. So what are they asking for? Do they want the head of the CEO? Do they want the government to come and take the power company over, which I don't think they have the power to do? Like, what exactly do Grand Bahamians anticipate they want from this company?
Grand Bahamians wants more accountability. Grand Bahamians want fairness.
Yes.
And let me say this, living in Grand Bahama, right, there's no question about that. Those two glamour companies, whether it's the Port Authority or the thing, that they have a standard, right, that we are accustomed to.
Right.
However, that is deteriorating now. So why are we not going back to that standard that we used to? And not only that, why is it that the leaders, our community leaders, our politicians, why are they not sitting at the table with this company and say, listen, we have some issues here.
What do you mean when they're not sitting at the table if you have a minister of Grand Bahama and a minister of state for Grand Bahama? How are the leaders not at the table?
No, what I'm saying is right. There has to be an ongoing discussion with this matter. And I'm saying to you, I saw where the Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama, Beverly Kingsley Smith, challenged them on that matter. And not only that, he was back and forth with them because, again, the language from the company was very repulsive and stink. So I'm saying to you, they are on the pulse. But this can't just be this month, next week. No, we have to consistently stay on GB Power.
Here is what I'm saying to you, right? So in war, there's something called a cover group.
Right.
There's something called a kill group. And there's something called a follow-up cover group.
Right.
The job of the cover group is to make sure that if one fella lag behind, we make sure we keep a target on him. And to ensure that if anybody manages to escape past the kill group, we catch them coming on the way out, right? So in war, there is a cover group, a kill group, and then a follow-up cover group.
Right. Just defense force training now.
Yeah. You know what the job of the kill group is? To pull the trigger, my friend.
Right.
But it is because when you get in the kill group area, there is a specified target. Whether it is this group of men, whether it is this piece of equipment, whether it is... My question is, what does the kill group of the you all have a name?
Oh, who have a name?
The Grand Bahamas activist people, you all have a name? You gotta have a name.
Of course we
What's your
do.
name? Grand Bahama activists against
myself.
What's your name?
My committee is myself, Natasha Darville, Brenda Ferguson.
Yeah, but what's your
Rashad.
name?
We are the Grand Bahama cares for the.
Sure, y'all even just be there.
No. You know, FNA nothing. We ain't with you and with this nonsense. Okay, I tell you that.
Okay,
right.
All
so
right.
we were fighting and we will continue to fight. In fact, I know they were supposed to call in today to lend.
Right, so you all are the kill group.
Yes.
The cover group could be people like with the Pickstock boy, fella named down there. And I say boy very slackly, so if you hear me say it, don't. So the Pickstock, wasn't it? Wasn't Darren, what do you mean with Darren? You mean the Pickstock?
Cooper.
Oh. So you could have a fella like him. He's a part of the follow-up cover group maybe.
Second visa.
And I'm just saying, but we know that they've protested before in the past. And then, I don't know, people like a Freddie McAlpine who could be on the cover group on the outside there, because I ain't a reverend singing for nothing these days. As a matter of fact, I think they should take him to lunch. No, because I think the Rev could help them out. He could either...
He's running. Look, he's running, though.
He could either vivify the base or pray their strength in the Lord.
Yeah,
but they should go see Fred McAlpine, right?
He's running.
But the kill group has to, and this is, you don't pay me for advice, you could tell me to go fly a frisbee.
Right.
The kill group has to figure out what the specific target is.
Right.
Because you can't just waste rounds and ammunition shooting at something that ain't an actual target. So here's what I would recommend. Call for the head of the CEO, and you do it every day.
Right.
Call for the head of the CEO.
Correct.
Because that might actually get you the results or the responses or the information.
Right.
This CEO may just decide, man, the hell with these people. I need to tell them what's happening. And I steal this from Literate, right? Without context, all information could sound or look bad.
Correct.
A more respectful, decent, publicly minded CEO may come and say, Richard, look at the numbers. That's the numbers. If we do it for less than that, no one gonna have light.
Right.
Which would actually change the trajectory or how you feel about the company.
Right.
But you would need a CEO who actually feels like he needs to do that to do it.
Right.
And so my point or my advice to, what you all name? The Grand Bahama cares for the who?
For the Grand Bahama.
Okay.
Yes.
Figure out.
FNA?
The FNA. I tell you, it's that easier to say. Right? And we have a slogan, you know. We are the FNA and we don't play.
Even the only thing good for that FNA is the song. I like that song. I do. You know, I do.
We are the, you don't like the slogan? We are the FNA and we don't
What's
play.
the FNA means?
We can tell you when you reach.
Okay.
But the kill group has to figure out what is the specific target.
Correct.
Richard. Don't waste energy. We 40. When you squeeze this trigger, you have to be sure that the thing you are pointing your weapon at is going to be destroyed.
Right.
So figure that out and then pick the fight back up. All right?
Okay, bro.
Anyway, you heard the jingle. Let me get into the break. Richard Johnson, he's my guest. Don't move. Freedom March will be right back after this. Hello, welcome back to Freedom March. Thank you so much for staying with us through the break. I'm Levan Miller. You're listening to us on 103.5 The Beat FM, channel 224, channel 112, and of course on ILTV Studios. Let me see if I can get these birthdays out of the way quickly. And then I want to ask Richard one more thing about why he cussing out the poor controller road traffic. You want me to do birthdays or Tanya first? Let's go to Tanya. Hello, Tanya. Welcome to Freedom March.
Good afternoon, Mr. Miller, and good afternoon, spiritual advisor. It's your girl Tanya coming to you live from Shop Smart Department Store. Your miracle right here at number 122 Mackey Street, where we say we're here for you for whatever season of your life and for everyday living. And we are in the season of back to school. Yes, all of the smart shoppers are coming into Shop Smart to take advantage of not only our 20% off everything back to school, but they are in here taking advantage of our back to school sweepstake. If you are a smart shopper, all you need to do is come on into Shop Smart and spend a minimum of $25 on back to school items, and you'll be eligible for one of our sweepstake drawings. We do drawings every Saturday in the month of August. We have 4 fabulous prizes. The first prize, second prize, third prize, fourth prize, all valued at $500 each. You can get yourself a $500 BPL voucher. You can win $500 grocery at your food store. You can win $500 gas in your car. Or you can win a $500 shopping spree in Shop Smart. A minimum purchase of only $25 of anything back to school at Shop Smart. Shop Smart, we've also got all of the spray ground backpacks that you need. Come on in, we've got you covered. And with the purchase of a spray ground backpack, you can get yourself 10 free books and 10 free folders. Come on in. Shop Smart is located right here at number 122 Mackey Street, and we're open Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. for your shopping convenience. Or you can visit us on our website at shopsmart242.com.
Remember, as always, to shop early, to shop often, and to shop smart. Let's go to birthdays. Ready? Happy pre-birthday goes out to Master Adrian Ferguson from his dad, Trey, his granddad, Dimitri, and he's celebrating 9 years tomorrow, actually, August the 23rd. So, little Adrian, happy pre-birthday. So when you go sleep tonight and you wake up tomorrow, what do you know? Woo, Lordy, it'll be your birthday. All right, then there's Ryan. Happy birthday, Ryan, from your mom, your sister, Ryed, and your entire family, especially your wonderful, loving, and darling auntie, Charlotte. How did I do, Charlotte? And of course, there is Anya Roll. Happy birthday goes out to Chief Petty Officer Anya Roll from her husband, Force Chief Petty Officer Pedro Roll, her children, and the whole staff of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Exchange. So to Chief Petty Officer Anya Roll, you know, she is one of the only 2 people from SAC I can tolerate. And I remind SACers all the time that, you know something, you all like to brag. But Minna's been the SAC, and so did Bradley Roll. And they never let them forget it. But Anya, she's been the SAC, and she's one of the last 2 people that I tolerate from SAC.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
SAC is a big.
No. There's a big, and I will stop right there.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I get in that.
Anyway, let's move on a little bit. Richard, why you guys out the controller road traffic?
I curse the road traffic. I will talk on this topic. Now, you are a former Defense Force officer.
Sure.
And you were working in a public service government
Sure.
agency. Now, I believe there was, and not because I'm on your show, because I think at one point, I had to put you in your, I had to tell you, but down first try, and you rectified it.
Immediately. With
Right.
immediate effect.
Right.
That's what people in law enforcement
And
do.
you did, and I think since that you've been doing good things at Hawaii. My issue leaving is where we have successive governments putting former police officers working in government departments. And we have a lot of them, and all of them, who belongs on a farm dealing with goat, cow, chicken, and hog.
Justify that statement.
Because lack of people skills, lack of dealing with things in a human manner, have no respect for the public. And so I've heard a lot of bad report on her name, per se.
But before her, they had Mr. Smith.
Bradley Sands was there as well. Bradley Sands was also one of them who was very stern on the job, and so staff complained about it. And
Staff complained about
of course, as you see today, we have a former defense force at the Port Department. We have the former commissioner as PS now at Immigration. We have Mr. B.K. Barnaby, who's at the airport. So, and you have two former police officers at road traffic, and the list go on and on and on.
Yeah, but there was.
And then you have Eric Seymour. This is his name. He's at the financial. Again. Why that practice?
Because they're so
what it
decorated.
means.
It's because many of them come so decorated, highly trained. The armed forces is the only place where you will get an array of cross training at a tertiary level. So even when you find those men that have made it to that rank who may not have a formal degree, right? You will find that they have operated in so many high stress situations. In so many low resource situations with such broad demographics of people that their range and knowledge base is actually quite deep.
Got you.
Now, and I learned this as a bus driver, right? So I left the military and my first job was a bus driver, right? Many people that leave the uniform do not understand that discipline is a skill. And it is a woefully lacking skill around the society. So people that live in this society, because they come from what we would call in sociology a micro society, which is the fourth, they assume that when they're transplanted into a larger society, that they can carry the culture of the micro society with them. That don't work. The Negroes out here do not respond to instructions. And so a lot of times you will see that a lot of them lean on their military, paramilitary
to get
maneuvers
to do what they need to get done. Right. So you said it diplomatically, and I'm saying it this way.
You want them to get us.
No, I'm saying it just like this: that they have most of them in particular, belongs living again on a farm, dealing with the cow, the sheep, the goat, and the hog.
Right.
Because when it comes to people. And managing people and dealing with the public, they have an issue. You ever see the people in the back, like, they're in the kitchen, you have a kitchen staff, and then you got someone who just takes in a deep fryer, and for some reason she can't come in the front there to serve the public? But that's the same logic. So my thing, and my issue was a particular person in particular. I won't call her name on air. I actually went to the Prime Minister's office for 2 days. Railing against what transpired against it because, number one, she's a Bahamian. Number two, she's qualified. Number three, she's one of them, PLP. So why she's being treated in such manner? And then she went through the rigorous process. She did what she had to do. You gave her an application. You gave her a letter. She was approved. And then when she went to pick up the license, the plate, oh, no, you have vehicle too old. You can't get this. Well, you should have been aware of that when
I made the application.
Right, so, in the tune, and I understand even her deputy is 10 times worse than her.
Because he auditioned.
I won't come on there and say that certain ministers or the minister can't even work with that circumstance.
Well, I will tell you this.
But I can tell you one thing, even. If I was a minister and you working under me,
no, I got your head off.
I could tell you one thing. I could tell the Prime Minister today.
Boy, you better fire me.
You will decide who
you better fire me.
I know one thing.
When I reach over there.
I'm in charge.
You better fire me before I get over there.
And I don't care how much PLP she is to you or whatever for them. She will confine to me as a minister. And so again, that's the problem again. And maybe so because of where they came from and the ranks they would have held. And so again, not that I didn't cuss her. Change your attitude. Change your approach.
So here's the thing, right?
Okay.
I hear you. I can hear you. People have levied this. You remember the boy wanted Brave Davis to fire me? Because people that come from our culture bring structure.
Right.
Structure is painful, Richard.
Yes, it is. I know. I'm a disciplinarian myself.
The horse don't like bridles.
Right.
But a horse without a bridle is a runaway horse.
Correct.
You agree with that?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And so, sometimes you gotta put this bridle in the jaw and pull it. But that's the only way to make sure this horse don't run us off the cliff.
Agree, but when you working in the public.
Yeah.
For the public.
Yeah.
For the baby people.
Yeah.
Always remember that you're, and sometimes people
You gotta feed
understand.
the horse an apple.
Yeah, it's not what you say.
Yeah.
It's how you say it.
Sure.
And so your actions sometimes precede you. And I believe her reputation precedes her coming out of the police force.
But that's interesting because I've never heard her name prior to taking over as controller.
Oh.
But what I will say is controller of road traffic is a job that I would absolutely love to have as a purview job one day.
Not you. We don't want no more. We tired of y'all
So that's why I gotta
serving
make sure
government
you don't say
department. You
that.
hear me?
And I promise you,
We want to abolish
I
that.
promise you, I'd make it a better place because my mind has thought about the challenges of road traffic and how they are to be fixed. And I think one of the reasons why we have a minister of transport who isn't performing at her absolute proficient is because I don't know if she's getting the best advice from her controller. That's that. Family Island Administrator is the only other job I want in government. Like I want to be Family Island Administrator one day. That's
Right.
like my.
I don't think
that's
it's
my
fair to say-
lifelong dream,
I
right?
think it's fair to say Joe Biden isn't performing as the minister.
I said as optimally as she could be.
No, I think she's performing the best she could, and I also
I don't
believe-
share that view.
No, I differ with your view.
Right.
Because I believe the issues and the areas what she would have taken over carriage of, these are areas
tough issues.
toughest issues.
And I don't disagree with
okay,
you.
so successive government failed on those issues.
Yes, but I'm saying to you that I think that people are labored. For instance, she had an interview the other day, and like, while it was on, we were watching it, and you have to always be very mindful of public fatigue. I think because the issues she's had to deal with have been so difficult,
Right.
people are almost tired. Like when she had housing, she was a champion. But we've given her energy and transport, and I think these two ministries are so big that they crushing her. And people are just becoming exhausted
Right.
with her. She appears to be a lightning rod for negative attention. And that may not be fair to her. But sometimes, as a leader or as the prime minister, you have to save a minister from that because you don't want public fatigue to set in.
But I think
that is my view.
But in the Prime Minister's wisdom, good wisdom, he would have put her there for a reason. And obviously, if the Prime Minister puts you somewhere, I think he would have considered all of the factors.
You remember
in.
Christie fatigue?
No, I understand. No, but Christie was a worse leader.
No, I'm talking about, do you remember when people got to the point where they just got tired of hearing Christie's voice?
Yes.
They
that
don't
was
care what he
Christie.
come here to talk
That
about.
was Christie.
Right.
Brave don't have that fatigue.
No, I'm saying I think sometimes that is where Joe Colby Davis is. Like people are like, I don't hear nothing. They light them
Because
on or they off. Right.
yeah, but the issue regarding, you see the energy, fuel issues, generation, signing this agreement for the XYZ. Again, the same thing with Ginger Moxie. The issue with Grand Bahama is not a Ginger Moxie issue.
No.
Because successive governments have failed Grand Bahama.
Sure.
And she is the minister, yes. But Ginger cannot save Grand Bahama.
Agreed, but look at look at that difficult problem.
Right. Very difficult, complex.
And people still they embrace Ginger. They appear to love her. Ginger still Ginger for the people. You don't get the same level of labor. People don't.
I beg to differ.
People, no, I'm talking. You don't. No. Listen, what I'm saying.
I don't
people
think so.
don't sound as oh my God, Ginger again. Versus when I hear people talk about Miss Colby Davis.
No, I beg to differ.
Okay.
I beg to differ.
All right.
I can tell you one thing. I believe, factually, she's one of the far better likable.
Yeah,
out there.
among her,
Yes,
amongst
amongst the cabinet.
I know, but cabinet.
Yes, sir.
Among,
Name me five.
Among
Name me the
that,
top five.
no, listen what I'm saying.
Right.
I think her likability, remember I said earlier about Minister Munro that some people contend that he is doing a better job as a government minister than he is as a member of parliament. I think the opposite may be said for Jobette in that I think the people that she has encompassed around her, they support her. She has their full might.
Right.
She hasn't lost any of her foot soldiers.
Right.
I don't know if that translates outside of that circle though. Just based on my anecdotal evidence, going around in local watering holes and spaces.
BPL is challenging.
It's a tough issue.
And I don't want to beat down the minister because at the end of the day, this is a task that she have to endure as well as there, and the government on its whole has to deal with it.
Indeed.
Because at some point, I'm sure the Prime Minister intervenes and or get involved because again, the issue with power supply in this country is not an easy one.
No,
And so,
and it ain't
but I would
overnight
say,
fix.
let's look at the programs they would have initiated, the 50% rebate,
Sure.
or the fact that if your light, to turn your light on, just bring up a certain percentage back.
Sure.
So she have done some initiative to ensure that the customer is well taken care of.
That's
And
fine.
so, but in terms of the legendary existing problem, hey, That's a very strong
So
task.
it's a tall
Until
little
then.
climb. So I want to say this because I'll make sure I don't go past this without saying this.
Right.
I remember when Clifford Butch-Scavella transformed the way life at the passport office was. And he was a military commander.
Right.
And a crazy man by many people's estimation.
Yes.
But notwithstanding that, Butch went over there and things at the passport office changed
Right.
for the better.
Right.
And there will always be people among your staff that complain, you know. But like I used to say in my former life in another place, the end user is my concern. So if I come here and lick you all up, I lick you all up, lick you all up. What the concern is,
Right.
when Richard Johnson come to get his passport, is it taking 10 weeks or 10 days now? And many people will credit a military commander
Right.
with his transformative policy making that over the period of time led towards the passport
So,
office.
but what
experience
about
being
what about the people who were serving in the ministry from the 70s and the 80s and the 90s who started out from clerk, worked their way up to senior clerk, senior executive, manager, supervisor, etc., who know the ins out of that
Some
ministry?
of them lost as a bat in
No,
an
no,
open
no.
field.
They're not given opportunities.
Some, and I telling you, I
They're
just
given
wake
opportunities.
around some of them. Listen
Yeah,
to me.
but they're given opportunities
The
to live
one
it,
thing
leave
I
it.
can't stand is for somebody to tell me, I have 40 years.
Even. We need to
lost
stop
like a bat
even.
in an open
we
field.
need to stop appointing political cronies in these government departments. They make things work. They make things worse. Sorry, worse. Because you know.
I just
it's too
tell you,
much-
I just tell you about Clifford Scavella and
Yeah,
how
yeah, you and what the talk was about it.
that he was a wonderful passport
That's it.
officer.
That's it. But
Yeah.
other than passport officer, what else do you have in it?
He was a crazy man.
Oh, man, that's a good thing.
All right, let's go to the phone line. Somebody tell me to ask you about the Angliston race. How you feel about that? For the effort?
Oh, please.
Man, you sound like you forget English, you know.
My English. I just think that Glenn Sarah Martin, I think when she's willing to retire, she's
No,
willing to retire.
about the persons that they are prospecting for the FNM.
Waste of time. You need some experience to
Yeah.
go up against Glenn Sarah
Who's
Martin.
going on there?
You have this young lady named by the head of McDonald, right?
They probably just splashing water against
Yeah,
the wall.
but
though.
if you won't get
But they
baptized,
do the same thing to Michael. You remember they run Michael against Christie, then they run him against
Yeah, but
Grave,
see, if
then
you-
they run him against Obi.
See, I feel sorry
Michael
for-
ain't stand one chance in that.
But Ingram gave him a tough time.
Mm-hmm.
But they adore Ingram. But they won't kill ministers politically. And ministers put them in the cabinet.
Listen to me.
Okay.
Listen to me. Ingram keeps sending that boy to war with a
All the
butter
time.
knife. With a butter knife.
All the time.
You think you could beat Christie?
But they want to elevate him.
Oh boy. Now
But no, I understand.
now I say Ingramite.
Well, I'm not.
Oh no.
And he didn't go sit down.
Now I won't say this because
And he didn't go sit down.
Because you trying to conflict me twice on this show, Dwayne Sands. Listen to me. In my mind, it's God, Jesus, my ma, Dwayne Sands. All right?
What happened?
I just told you what happened.
I just tell you what I just
And
tell
I
you.
said in my
No,
mind.
he didn't go sit down.
In my mind.
Sit down. He's crossing
God,
problems.
Jesus, my ma, Dwayne Sands, because my two grandma are dead.
Used to hands and fall in that line.
Yes. God, Jesus, my ma, Dwayne Sands.
The respect I have for you. Don't let me take it away from you.
And right after Dwayne Sands, I
So-
think it's my two children.
What?
Yeah. Let's go to the phone line. Hello, caller. Welcome to Freedom March.
My God.
Yes, good afternoon, Levon. How you doing?
Hey, Anton.
What's going on, Richard?
Hey, Anton, where you been?
I've been around.
Okay, good to hear from you.
I listening to you talk all this talk, though.
He says he's an FNM turned PLP, but I'm trying to convert him, Anton, to become the newest FNA around here.
Anton, I don't know what he's talking about.
I hear you, Richard. I hear you. But good afternoon to the nation. Listen, the Honorable Wayne Monroe, he's a great man. He is a great spokesman. He is a great orator.
Yeah, give him people
He
skills.
knows how to handle the media.
Yeah, give him people skills.
He knows how to get the information out in an accurate and informed manner.
Mm-hmm.
We will fall flat on our face without him in there.
That's
Those are
a
my
heavy
words, and I
cross to
stand by them.
Anton, that's a heavy cross to carry. The PLP
stand
will
by them.
fall flat on its face
We
if
will
Wayne
fall
Monroe
flat
comes
on
on the
our
cabinet.
face.
Wow.
If he's not there, if he wasn't there right now to support the Prime Minister
Yeah.
and the manner in which he's been doing,
Yeah.
we would fall flat on our face.
Wow. No, I think
He's a
he's
great
doing a
man.
wonderful job as a Minister of National Security, in my
And so-
view.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think he's doing wonderfully.
No. Listen. He understands his role as a minister, and it is not to interfere like the previous minister and the previous prime minister, the previous failed incompetent authority prime minister did with the former commissioners of police. Mr. Wayne Monroe does not do that. He does not overstep his authority. He gives way for the commissioner of police to carry out their duties. What he also does, along with the support of the Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Ray Davis, the next repeating Prime Minister in this country, he gives the full support to the armed forces in our country. That's all you could ever ask of a government.
Yeah, I think like Tommy Tanquasi wasn't
we're
bad.
spending out $70 million on our drones, and the drones ain't never show up. We taking control of no media frenzy where they come to hear the commissioner and his or her plan, but all you could hear from is the minister. We ain't doing nonsense. We ain't going to no court and coercing person to give false testimony and promoting them after.
Yeah.
We're contaminating no judicial cases. Wayne Monroe is a great man, and I pray to God the great people of his constituency see the need to put him back in there and destroy whoever is trying to challenge him. Destroy him politically.
Wow. All right, Anton.
Now, let me end with this. Look, we need some people to have a cleansing in our party who don't have the same heart as the Prime Minister. As a PLP, I'll be the first to admit that. Wayne Monroe is not one of them. Thank you for the opportunity. God bless.
Well, thank you, Anton. Well, Anton, I can tell you this. All them PLPs who need cleansing, spiritual advisor like the baptized people.
But you see how duplicitous as he is?
Sunday.
You see how duplicitous as he is? He's saying they need cleansing.
Yeah.
But we ain't one of them.
He's pure.
He's pure. But I make the point.
He's pure.
I make the point that the PLP will win this election, in my view.
But you want Wayne gone.
But Wayne has to go.
We can bring him to the Senate.
I don't care where you put it.
We can bring him to the Senate.
You remember I told you about the analogy of the woman in the back by the kitchen.
He can fry good chicken, but so as long as you don't let him wait the cash register.
Put him in the deep fryer in the back.
323-777-56980-775. Hey, caller, welcome to Freedom March.
That's the blind one, Papa, man.
Hey,
How
Papa.
you doing?
What's going on, buddy?
Papa, how are you, Papa?
Everything cool, thank God for like spiritual advice. You all right?
Yeah, he all right.
Okay. Johnson.
Yes, sir.
Hey, boy, listen. Everything cool, eh?
Yeah, man.
Hey, so much things you can't even touch it. You all talk. I think you all talk about the Johnson fellow who trying to run. You only talk about Blue who trying to get a nomination.
Yeah, and that's it.
I was talking about Blue.
Listen. Hold on. Don't. You know I blind. I don't write it down, Richard. Let me say it quick.
Because
Well, I
Leland's
was saying,
supporting me,
I wonder
I
if the
couldn't get
Fox man can help him, who's be doing things in Camp Road, and if Terry wrongs Terry the Lance, he helping him. If he get the help from them too, he don't need no nomination. If they don't give him the nomination, then I want to say, Levan, when you had that guy on who people that say he's lie a lot, right? That's what people that say. They say he sound like he lying when he's speaking for the office of the Prime Minister. You did a great job. It almost sound like when you was questioning him, saying, now hold on, and you was like dealing with the situation. It sound like he suck his teeth, like he regret being there.
Yeah, Latrey hard to hit. I gotta tell you that.
This boy don't play this.
Come on,
that's why I respect you. I respect, and I like the part what you said that they can have the audacity thing because they give you money that you could say, boy, you was knocked the nail, and you was a young fellow. I know them older people. Them I don't know if they respect you, but they need to respect you. They might think you might think you're too smart or whatever, but you hit the nail on the head, Levan. So keep up the good work. Listen, hold on before I forget. Sorry, brother. You see Johnson?
Yeah.
I don't know if Johnson is the same sign as you or if I any sign like y'all. I like y'all company.
Yeah.
I like the things what y'all stand for. We can agree to disagree.
Indeed.
We can speak our mind, and if you're wrong, you're wrong.
You're dead wrong.
You understand?
Yeah.
You see how Richard pointed out, not just here today or my next. What he say? He say plenty of those people them who around the Prime Minister should work around the farm, around pigs and animals and dogs, but they don't know how to talk to people, how to deal with people.
Yeah.
You understand? Now, Richard, when I hear what the caller say, but Monroe, right? But he gone far. I like what all two of you all saying. If there's any truth to what all two of you all saying, there's a big possibility, although the PLP might have the momentum, they could, and you know, in politics, anything is possible. They could fall flat on their face in spite of how the FNM carrying on.
Yeah.
Richard, you tell him what you had to say. You say what you had to say. You hear what he say? You saying that Brian Monroe got to go for the PLP to win, right? He's saying that
Without him, ain't no PLP.
Move Brian Monroe, they could fall flat on it. I think if the PLP leave Brian Monroe there, also they could fall. Brian Monroe could fall flat on his face. Richard, I believe Brian Monroe is a failure. I believe he's a big disappointment. We expected more than. And listen here, Richard.
I like
all the
He's a
PLP.
failure.
Then you knew PLP what you had to say. Richard, stay true to what you know.
Yes,
Divine. Stay true to what you know. Don't let these, especially these older fellows, make them respect us. And if they don't respect us too bad, I hope the younger people.
You gotta go,
understand
Papa.
how to-
Anyway, I gotta say, like I say every weekend, whatever you do this weekend, make sure you don't kill nobody. More important than that, make sure nobody don't kill you, and we'll see you right back here Monday.